It all started when I hired a man off the internet to build bookshelves for a guest bedroom. And a gentle soul in his late 50s appeared at my door and he explained to me that he was a master woodworker that had descended from many generations of Japanese temple builders. He was a Buddhist. The sound of it, a Buddhist working in my house. What a refreshing change from all the dirty Catholics that I usually have toiling around the place with their leaf blowers and their tongue tacos. But this bodhisattva's sweet, gentle demeanor impressed me enough that I gave him a check for $1,000 deposit. 98 inches long, soft painted pine. He assured me the shelves would be spectacular and resemble furniture from Europe. That was August. I never heard from him again. He won't return my phone calls. His phone number changed. An elderly Buddhist man fucked me in my ass. Sweet. But this little event somehow flipped me over the edge. So much so that it made me take off my loving, forgiving Marianne Williamson, Maya Angelou, Dr. Phil head and put on my Busta Gangsta Diddy Snoop Snap head. It became my little Pearl Harbor. And this is how I beat the shit out of Mac the Knife. In this story, the part of the burglar will be played by Logan Heftel. It all started a few months ago when I walked into my little house in West Hollywood. I put down my keys, I turned on the light, and to my horror, to my astonishment, I saw a thin, dirty, paranoid man standing in the shadows of my kitchen. Apparently, I surprised him when he came in through an open bedroom window. He was holding a dirty, mucky backpack that was filled with my stuff, but the expression on his face of world-weary contempt was mind-staggering, as though I were in his house, stealing his shit. In the backpack, I could see that he'd stolen my brand new laptop that was peeking out like the Lindbergh baby. But it was the expression on his face, cocky, defiant, that really got me going. And I asked him, "Are you alone?" And he let out a withering,
"Yeah."
Now, it was the way that he said,
"Yeah,"
that made me realize he was a gay. For he said,
"Yeah,"
as though he were saying, hot. That boarded, jaded, weary, yeah, hot. Here was one of these newfangled gays that you see nowadays that drags his feet through life as though he were wearing nothing but a worn, thin paper housecoat, and whose only destiny it was to make over-watered coffee. My blood is boiling like molten glass. And then again, he says,
"I didn't do it."
And then I could see that he had gay eyes. Doll's eyes, shark's eyes, sad eyes, eyes that have seen his mama pierce him with Christian rejection. I could also see that he had crystal meth eyes. And even when faced with the glare of the evidence in his hand, this snot-nosed drug addict had no accountability. And I am seething. And I slapped him, surprising us both. The sound of flesh against face was unique, terrifying. The sound of a baby being born, but in this case, I was the baby. No more Mr. Nice Guy, baby. Looking back, I wanted to punch him, but I just forgot to fold my thumb under my fingers. But it worked out good, because a punch would have meant respect, and a slap meant that he was now my special bitch. The tables were turned. He was my captive. What this kid needed was a heavy splash of agua de karma. And then again he said it.
"I didn't do it."
And then again I slapped him. And then I grabbed him by the t-shirt and I pulled him up, but the cotton was too soft. It was overwashed. It was old Navy. And he sunk down like a marionette. I grabbed the backpack. No drug addict is going to take my livelihood. And then he pointed his finger at me. And his eyes turned seductive. I know who you are. You were in Fast Times at Ridgemont High. I was at Fast what at Ridgemont who? You were the pizza guy. My burglar is recognizing me! Knock him again! And I swiftly became Charles Bronson in the movie Vigilante Force. Actually, I metamorphosized into Faye Dunaway in the movie Mommy Dearest. My eyebrows arched into a stunned kabuki-like glaze. Leave it to you, Christina! I work at Metro to buy you the best house in Brentwood! And what do you do but you steal my laptop and my iPod, Christina? Why? This jack-in-the-box had no idea what box he just popped up into.
Dude, why are you calling me Christina?
Why? Because I own you now, you little rectal pair. Who's the one that pays the taxes in this house? Who is the one that does shows for free? Who's the one that has to go on 2 callbacks for That So Raven? Oh, I don't think so, Christina. No. You're not ripping me off, Christina.
Stop calling me Christina. I'm on drugs.
You come to my house on drugs when I'm not even allowed to have white wine, pot, or ground beef? Has anyone here ever slapped anyone? It's actually really fun. It's very addictive and enjoyable, like eating Tostitos or doing sit-ups. The slaps come in waves, like in a tsunami. They're kind of sweet and they're kind of pretty. And this is where I really begin to slap this guy. And I slap him for all the sins in the world. The next slap is for Ellen DeGeneres. Why, you ask? Because she's not funny. Then I slap him for the Buddhist cabinet maker. And then I backhand him for Glenn Beck. He's breathing stridently now, but that cocky expression never leaves his face. He's defiant, the way Nicole Richie must look like when she's giving birth to a baby backwards on coke. So help me God, when I am done with you, you will never shit normal again. And then I stop. Violence is like an impressionistic painting. Whereas a demarcation between sky and sea, that gray area where you can fly or drown. Creative sorts can turn screams into music, but when we do it into our lives, that's where the drowning begins and the healing ends. And I can't afford that. My neighbor yells and I scream, "Call 911!" The kid was so relieved I was calling in the cops. Human beings act monstrously. I certainly did. I walked my burglar to the squad car where many of West Hollywood's finest policemen stood, looking like an exploded calendar. They protected the suspect's head and they tidily placed him into the pulsating squad car. "Can I say something to him?" I asked compassionately. And then the tall copper said, "Sure." And then he asked me with great seriousness, "Were you in Biodome?" I put my head into the squad car to say the last words to my little dickwipe who recoiled upon seeing me. "You know, if you come back here, I am going to slice your head off with a machete."
I won't come back. I hate it here. By the way, I'm really good friends with Andy Dick. I'll tell him you say hi the next time I see him.